Hey everyone, welcome. Today I'm bringing you the ultimate guide to getting ink out of your fabric, which is part of a larger tutorial series that I have here on my channel. If this video helps you today, I hope you'll give it a like, as well as subscribe with notifications on so that you can join our community and be up on new content that I bring you. Ink can be really intimidating because of how permanent it looks, and especially because sometimes it's called permanent marker. But it's actually one of the easiest things to get out of fabric. You just need some patience and some fearlessness because it's going to get worse before it gets better. Today I'm working with a doll shirt. I know nothing about this ink stain. I don't know when it happened, I don't know what happened, and I don't know why it happened, although I'm really curious about that one. And that's just to reassure you that if you have an ink stain, it doesn't matter if it happened 10 years ago or 1 year ago or 1 minute ago, the process to get it out is going to be the same. Before we get started, please take a moment to assess your fabric. I'm working with cotton today, and I know generally how cotton is going to react. But if you're working with something like silk or another luxury fabric or embroidery, knit, something that says dry clean only on it, and you want to try this out, please take this slower, and most importantly, please test your fabric before treating the stain. All right, here we go. You are gonna need just a few things that you probably already have around the house. Paper towels, isopropyl alcohol, aka rubbing alcohol, and a washing machine. And then 2 items that are not necessary but that I recommend is cling wrap and some gloves. Isopropyl alcohol comes in different percentages. Most commonly, it comes in 71% and 91%. I'm using 91% today because that's just what I always use. If what you have at home is 71% and you don't get the same results that I do today, try again using 91%. First, we're gonna prep a workspace. I've taken a lid off of a plastic storage bin and covered it with cling wrap, and that's just to double protect my filming space. Please make sure you protect the space you're working in. If you don't have cling wrap, there are so many things you can use to protect your working space. You could grab a utility tray that's okay to stain, you could grab a box you're about to recycle or a plastic bag, but please use something and don't just work directly on your table or your counter or your floor, because there's no tutorial coming for how to get ink out of those surfaces. Next, we're gonna put some paper towels down. Enough to cover the sides of your stain and then a little some. Now place your fabric down on the paper towels. I'm opening up this shirt because I don't want the ink to spread to the front of the shirt while I'm working on it. Try to place your item in a way that it only has a single layer of fabric against the paper towel. You'll see why in a minute. Now grab your isopropyl alcohol and pour it directly onto the ink stain. I'm going to test a small area in the corner first to make sure that the rubbing alcohol doesn't affect the pattern on this shirt. And I really do suggest you test your fabric a little bit before just dumping it over the whole stain. Once you've poured some alcohol on it, give it a little pat so that it makes contact with the paper towel. Okay, I've just checked my test area and it did well. So I'm now going to pour the isopropyl alcohol over all of the stain areas. I'm pouring pretty liberally so that when I pat, it sounds like stepping in a small wet puddle. Now I'm just gonna walk away and let it sit. So it's been about 20 minutes and I'm checking in on it. The ink is now just starting to show on the paper towel, which is great and which is what I want to see. Basically what's happening is the isopropyl alcohol is drawing the ink out from the fabric and the paper towel is absorbent and it's wicking the ink away from the shirt. So you want to see a lot of ink on your towel. I'm now going to leave this again and come back. I'm checking in on it again. There's a little more ink on my paper, but overall, it just still looks too nice. So I'm gonna change this paper out and do a fresh pour of isopropyl alcohol. I want this shirt to start looking a little more irritated, and I want this paper to look like a unicorn threw up on it. It's been an hour now and things are finally getting interesting. There is a lot more ink on my towel, but most importantly, this ink stain looks angry. This is the part where you might think, oh no, what have I done? It looks way worse, because it does. Why did I try this? And it's even transferring to parts of my fabric that it wasn't there before, but this is the part where things get good. When your ink stain starts looking really mad, it's ready for the washing machine. So I'm gonna throw this in my machine now. If you're doing this at home, please do not mix it with your other clothes. You can use your usual detergent. I'm gonna be using my usual detergent, and I'm also adding baking soda and borax to my machine, only because it's a habit. When I'm working with secondhand items, I work with them often. I don't think it does anything to remove ink, but I'm just letting you know everything I'm doing just in case it changes your result. What temperature should your water be? That's really up to you because you know what type of fabric that you're working with. If you're working with a fabric and you're unsure about how much it might shrink, you might consider starting colder, and if it doesn't work, maybe working your way up to warm and going from there. I'm going to be using hot water today only because I work with cotton doll clothes often and I know that they shrink very little, so I'm just gonna go for it. But if you are doing this at home and it's something you really care about, please start cold and see what kind of result you get. I'm also setting my machine agitation level on high because I want it to really shake out all of the ink. This is another setting where you can start lower if you feel like your fabric needs to have a lower agitation level, and just see what you get. So I wanted to show you this. Here we are halfway through the cycle and you can see that the water is inky blue. I love that because I know the magic is happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this and let it finish the cycle. Okay, this is my favorite part because I get to see results. This is after one cycle in the washer, and I'm taking a look at it. The majority of the ink stain is gone, but I can still see a shadow of blue where the main stain was. So I'm gonna soak the shirt, again, in isopropyl alcohol, maybe for about an hour or two, and then I'm gonna throw it into the wash for a second time. All right, here is the final result. This shirt turned out great. It ended up going through 2 cycles of wash, and after the second cycle, it came out looking like this. 9 times out of 10, this method will save your clothes and make them look like new again. I really hope this video helped you. I really hope this video helped save something important to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back and watch some other tutorials. Bye!